Good morning, everyone. The first nor'easter of the year is on its way, and this storm is expected to bring a good deal of snow. We are tracking a low-pressure system that is forecast to strengthen rapidly as it travels up the east coast, and this storm will be capable of delivering a widespread snow event from Ohio to Maine. A broad area is expected to receive 4 to 8 inches of snow, but the primary concern is a narrow corridor that could see as much as 1 foot of snow if the storm follows the correct path. Cities such as Albany, Worcester, and Boston are certainly candidates for some of the heaviest snow, depending on where the most intense snow bands establish themselves. Additionally, this winter storm could bring a threat that the last one did not. This includes the risk of ice accumulation across parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, and even the Ohio Valley, and this storm is going to have many of the classic nor'easter impacts. We are anticipating heavy wind-driven snow, rapidly worsening travel conditions, and the potential for coastal flooding and beach erosion near the shoreline. Snowfall rates could exceed 3 inches per hour at times, which would create near whiteout visibility and make travel dangerous, if not impossible. So in this forecast, we are going to review exactly what you need to know about this upcoming nor'easter and how it could impact your plans for the beginning of the work week. And before we discuss the nor'easter, I did want to mention that yesterday's winter storm was truly historic across the Midwest. Many communities like Des Moines and even over in St. Louis ended up receiving some of their highest single-day snowfall amounts ever recorded for the month of November. Over in Des Moines, they saw right around 1 foot of snow, which is one of the top 5 snowiest days in their November history. And back over in St. Louis, the totals were well above what was forecast, with many areas reporting around 8 inches of snowfall. So far, the highest accumulation that has been reported to us was a little over 15 inches of snow near Fort Dodge, Iowa. And even in Chicago, totals were higher than expected, with close to a foot of snow in some areas. If you have any snow reports from your neighborhood, please do let me know in the comments below. I am very interested to learn what your snow totals were. Now let's talk more about this approaching nor'easter. I would like to begin with what is happening this morning. We do have some snow still falling across Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York. Later this morning, we will continue to watch for some lake effect snow in far western and northern Michigan. However, that activity is going to be very concentrated and localized. Therefore, we do not expect much more snowfall today across most of Michigan. By this afternoon and evening, some snow will fall in far northern New England, but generally speaking, no more than 3 to 6 inches of snow is in the forecast for that area. As we go into tonight and tomorrow, you might think things will quiet down, but that is not the case because we have 2 different areas of energy that are going to combine tomorrow. We will have some snow coming right over the Rockies, which is one area of moisture, and then we will have another area of moisture coming up from the Gulf. These 2 areas are going to merge into one system late on Monday. Before late Monday arrives, however, we will have some light snowfall throughout the morning across parts of Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, and Nebraska. A little bit of freezing rain is possible in far northeastern Oklahoma, southeastern Kansas, and southwestern Missouri, which is a definite concern. Any freezing rain or sleet that falls could lead to some ice accumulation. Please keep in mind, it does not take much freezing rain for ice to form on the ground. It really only takes a few drops for ice to accumulate when the surface temperatures are this cold. Which is why this situation is so concerning, especially since some of these communities may not have had a chance to treat their roadways. So please keep that in mind. On Monday afternoon, we will continue to see some light snowfall across Illinois and back through Kansas. A little bit of freezing rain is possible in southern and central Missouri, and also across northwestern Arkansas. So there could be some ice accumulation in those locations. Late Monday, we are going to start to see these 2 areas of energy essentially become one, and we will have a much larger winter storm forming as we go into Monday night. The snow should become more widespread across the Ohio Valley. I expect snow to be filling in across Ohio, Indiana, and also northern Kentucky. Freezing rain will be possible anywhere from northeast Arkansas back into western Kentucky, and then just a great deal of rain across the southeast, perhaps, with a couple of isolated severe storms. As we go into the overnight hours, that snow is going to become much more widespread in its coverage, and we are going to have heavy snowfall across Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York. However, this will be a very fast-moving snowstorm. This is a very quick winter storm event. So overall, many of these areas are not actually going to receive that much snowfall. The winter storm that we dealt with yesterday was much slower than this one, and it was also much larger. This one is going to be moving very quickly from west to east. Therefore, most areas are only going to have about 3 to 6 hours of snowfall. By Tuesday morning, that heavy snow is going to be blanketing the northeast across New York and most areas of New England. In fact, the only areas in New England that I believe will not see snowfall are southern Connecticut, southern Rhode Island, and Cape Cod. There will be a possibility for ice accumulation in areas like Maryland and West Virginia, and perhaps even in the higher elevations of far northeastern Tennessee. By lunchtime on Tuesday, heavy snow will be ongoing across most of New England, New York, Pennsylvania, and far northern New Jersey. Then by Tuesday evening, most of the snow will be winding down. The only snow left over will be around and just north of Boston, back through Maine, and then perhaps a little bit left over in Connecticut. There could also be a little bit of light snow as we go into Tuesday night across the northern plains and the upper Midwest, but overall accumulations there will be quite minimal. Now, let's talk more about the potential for snow and ice accumulation. I would like to begin with our snowfall forecast. This is the latest forecast from the National Weather Service. You will notice that generally speaking, we are not expecting a widespread 1 foot or more of snow anywhere in the Ohio Valley. Again, this is a very quick moving system. It is also going to be fairly weak as it moves through the Ohio Valley, but I do think a reasonable 1 to 3 or 2 to 4 inches for most of Ohio and Indiana and Pennsylvania will be on the table. There could be some localized areas that see more than this, but across the board, the snowfall accumulation in these areas is not going to be that significant. I honestly think this could be a slight overestimate. We will have to wait and see tonight what the computer models are showing us. However, I do think areas like Kansas City back through central Illinois have a possibility of a coating to 2 inches, and a localized 4 inches of snow cannot be ruled out, but overall, it should be pretty minimal. The ice is one of the larger concerns, and this is a significant question mark right now. This particular model, the NAM shows a much larger ice event happening across Arkansas all the way through Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania. This would almost undoubtedly cause disruptions to school plans for many areas on Tuesday, but it is not yet certain that we are going to see ice this widespread. The National Weather Service forecast is for a much more localized event, and it is mostly in Arkansas and also in eastern Kentucky and West Virginia, especially over in the Appalachian Mountains where we could even have a small cold air damming event happen. But back over in Arkansas, that is where there is a better chance of a glazing of ice. Maybe up to 1/10 of an inch of ice is on the table. So please make sure if you are in Arkansas that you are staying extra weather aware on Monday, because many roads may not be treated in a lot of areas, especially side roads, which means things could get very slick very quickly. I also believe that this is probably not going to be as widespread as this particular model shows. I think if we see ice accumulation, it will probably be more focused in southern Missouri and northern Arkansas. We are going to have another video update most likely either tonight or tomorrow to talk more about this. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and click the bell icon so you are notified of that latest update. Now, the Northeast is a different situation. I do think we are going to see a widespread 3 to 6 inches of snow for most of Pennsylvania, New York, and New England. There will likely be some localized areas closer to 8 to 10 inches of snow, especially where those heavier bands of snow align particularly in southern New Hampshire, southern Maine, and also central and western Massachusetts. This is also the National Weather Service forecast. It is about the same as the computer model that I just showed you, but it does show some more localized areas that are actually higher, more like 8 to 9 inches of snow back over northeast Pennsylvania and southeast New York. So, to say the least, yes, there is a winter storm in our future, but generally speaking, this is going to be a very quick-moving nor'easter, and it does not look to be nearly as major as what a lot of models were showing a couple of days ago. If anything dramatic changes in the next 24 hours, we will have another update for you. So, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. For this upcoming winter weather event on Monday into Tuesday, we are expecting at least minor travel impacts anywhere from Kansas all the way back into Pennsylvania and the Northeast. For areas shown in orange on our map, that is where moderate travel impacts are possible, which will be mainly across northeastern Pennsylvania. There are also a couple of areas like Little Rock and back towards Fort Smith that could have moderate travel impacts on Monday as well. That would be because of ice accumulation, so please stay tuned. We are going to have updates on our social media pages like Facebook and Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. You can find the links to our social media pages in the description below. Now, beyond this upcoming winter storm, we are going to have a few more issues on our hands during the middle and end of the week. This winter weather event will move out late Tuesday into Wednesday. One other thing I do want to point out is that this nor'easter is going to bring fairly strong winds to the northeast. So just a heads up, wind gusts around 30 to 45 miles per hour are going to be on the table on Monday and Tuesday. On Wednesday and Thursday, high pressure will build in along the east coast. We will have a little bit of snow across areas in the Rockies and also the upper Midwest. Accumulation, though, is not really expected out of this, at least anything significant. I mean, we could see an inch or two, but that is nothing compared to what we have seen recently over the last several days. From Wednesday into Thursday, some snow is possible across the Northeast, although this is not expected to be a major event consisting mostly of light snowfall. Then, late Thursday into Friday, we could see the redevelopment of some severe storms along the Gulf Coast. At the very least, the potential for flooding rainfall could become a concern there on Thursday and Friday, so please be mindful of that. Then, as we move into Friday, and through Saturday and Sunday, there is a very slight possibility at this time that some winter weather could materialize across the mid-Atlantic. We have a significant mass of cold air moving into the United States right now. For many of you, this morning was quite cold, and unfortunately that chill is expected to persist. Therefore, one thing we will need to monitor is just how cold it will remain over the next few days. That cold air combined with abundant moisture in the Gulf of Mexico could lead to a winter weather event farther to the south later this week. So a possibility certainly exists for the latter part of the week, but I do not expect it to be as significant as what the GFS model is currently projecting. Looking ahead to next weekend and into the early part of the following week, the forecast becomes less certain. The GFS model is indicating the possibility of another nor'easter on Sunday and Monday. Should that scenario develop, we would need to monitor the situation closely. However, it is simply too soon to say with any confidence what may happen. I do believe one thing is certain, though we are going to continue to experience a very active weather pattern for the next couple of weeks. Even though there is not a major winter storm in the forecast beyond the system on Tuesday, I do think we will see at least 2 more before Christmas. Following Christmas conditions will likely be quite active in January and February, which is a typical pattern for that time of year. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel for the latest information on all the developing winter weather. Now, looking at our temperatures over the next 7 to 10 days, they are going to be chilly for a large portion of the United States. At present, we have a large mass of cold air moving toward our Gulf Coast states. It will be very cold across the Central Plains, the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the Northeast through Monday and Tuesday. By Wednesday and Thursday, that area of cold air will shift across New England. Then, by Wednesday and Thursday, another wave of cold air is expected. This particular system will have a more significant impact on the Midwest, the Great Lakes, and the Northeast on Thursday. Consequently, conditions are going to remain very cold across the Northeast. And as we head into next weekend, yet another push of cold air is coming to the Northern Plains, the Midwest, and the Ohio Valley. It is likely we will see more cold air during the second week of December. This establishes a persistent cycle of cold air impacting the United States throughout the month. This is certainly one of the more active starts to winter we have experienced in terms of both snow and cold air in several years. The Climate Prediction Center is in full agreement that we will continue to see below-average temperatures across the Midwest, the Northeast, and the Mid-Atlantic at least through the end of the first week of December. Conversely, above-average temperatures are more likely than not across the Rockies, the West Coast, and also in the Southeast. Now, I have two important announcements to share with you. The first is that I will be on vacation for the next 7 days. This is the only vacation I will be taking this year, and it has been quite some time since I have had a break, so I will be away for the next 7 days. However, it is my plan to continue providing a video each day as long as the Wi-Fi on my cruise is reliable. I will be on a cruise ship where the internet service can sometimes be inconsistent, so I'm not entirely certain what the situation will be. I will certainly keep you all updated on YouTube. If you see a new video from me tomorrow, you will know that the internet connection is stable, and I am able to upload content. That is my hope at least. My other important announcement is that we are in the final days of the Black Friday sale on ShopMaxVelocity.net, which you can find by using the top link in the description below. If you use the code Black Friday, you will receive $5 off a purchase of $50 or more. We have our new cheese curd collection named after my cat available in our store right now. We also have our Supercell collection, Happy Holidays merchandise, and several other items. As a friendly reminder, if you would like anything delivered before Christmas, I would recommend placing your order within the next week or two. This should ensure that it is delivered on time. Thank you all so much for watching. I expect to be back in the studio in about a week, but in the meantime, I will do my best to provide daily video updates from a remote location. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to speaking with you all again in the next video.